What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going to show you in my fridge, I'm going to show you in my pantry the stuff that I've got as like my staples for weight loss, and I'm going to be super professional. I'm also going to be sharing some behind the scenes footage of my hat hair. Just a little bit of a spoiler, it looks like this. And I looked in the mirror, I thought this was hilarious. So I appreciate that. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, thank you. Let's do it. Alright guys, so before we do anything else, I want to actually show you the kind of things that I have on my bench, because I think it's important to understand when you're thinking about weight loss, when you have got foods at eye level that don't support your goals, that you're going to want to go and eat. Like, I know people have cookies and things like that on their counter. I'm like, dude, get some food on your counter that you want to eat. So I always have fruits. I could go and I could eat this orange, just like that. If you are really special, you'll find old mandarins there with mold growing on them. That's just one of the things you may find when you have a beautiful array of fruit like this. But keeping some stuff that I could just easily cut up and munch on, it's a game changer, guys, so definitely do that. Alright guys, so before we do anything else, I want to actually show you the kind of things that I have on my bench, because I think it's important to understand when you're thinking about weight loss, when you have got foods at eye level that don't support your goals, that you're going to want to go and eat. Like, I know people have cookies and things like that on their counter. I'm like, dude, get some food on your counter that you want to eat. So I always have fruits. I could go and I could eat this orange. That's just one of the things you may find when you have a beautiful array of fruit like this. But keeping some stuff that I could just easily cut up and munch on, it's a game changer, guys, so definitely do that. Let's have a look in the fridge. Let's do this thing. Okay, this is a little bit messy. How long has this been here? Okay, I got some old stuff up here. Definitely need to sort this out. What is that? Alright guys, let's do this again. Ta-da! Okay, so I gave this quite a bit of a clean, but yeah, you saw that it was gross. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of what I've got. So I've got this is called gochujang, and I get it from my local kind of Korean shop. And I love having this with rice, kind of like sushi bowls. It's really spicy, it's a little bit processed, but I really enjoy that. I've got tofu in here, which I have occasionally. My mum brings things like banana bread, and I just forget about it, which is good because otherwise I would want to eat it. I just try and keep, like this, guys, I've had this is margarine, this is disgusting. I've had this in here for like 2 years and I haven't used it. Random cranberry type stuff. I just bought these condiments. I love this kind of like spicy stuff, and I pretty much just always have this hummus, and it does have oil in it, but I use a tiny amount, and I really enjoy being able to have a hummus and not having to make hummus all the time. So that's what I do. It's not like you got to have it quite limited, because for weight loss any kind of oil is not going to be helpful. And then I've got some, let's put this like this, I've got some sweet potato prepped up. So I just cook them up like this, and I just try and always have those kind of things in my fridge. And here I've got some pumpkin. I think it's like a buttercup that we've got in there. And this one I've got herbs. So I just wrap my herbs in this kind of paper. This is all soup, leftovers. It's awesome to have lots of leftovers. I'm not sure what that one is down there. I don't even know. Let's have a look. Wowzers. Freaking heck, that's a lot of soup, yikes. Yeah, so this is what I do with my herbs. When I get them, I just put them in a container like this. I get it from the market. And I love these containers because they are clear. And the advantage of that is I don't forget about stuff because it's just real easy. And then this is what I do for my lettuce. I'll show you. I just put it in a big container, just like this, with a little bit of paper towel underneath, and then I can just grab it. So it stays pretty fresh. This is from Saturday. And then this in here, this massive container, is broccoli. So again, what I do is I just break up my broccoli so that I can fit it in this container. And this is probably like 4 or 5 heads of broccoli, because otherwise I just can't fit it in my fridge. And the nifty thing about this is then it's ready to go, and I just get this microwave broccoli steamer, and then I never have an excuse not to be eating things like my non-starchy vegetables, which are really important for weight loss. The veggies that I buy, I literally just buy what's on special. So broccoli's cheap at the moment. I got given this silver beet. I've got some beetroot in here, more broccoli that I couldn't fit. Always got carrots in there, some lemons. Condiments, what I have. Alright, so I have all these different types of curry paste. This is the one I mainly use. I have not used this in years, I think. Over here, I've got some jam that someone gave me, some chutney that someone gave me, some olivey stuff. These are things that I would use occasionally, but I'm not going to use them every day. And then I've got hot sauces. So I've got like quite a few different hot sauces here. And these are things I would use every day. They don't have any oil in them. They make food taste delicious and spicy. And I've got some liquid smoke back there, which I'll put in hummus. And then down here, this is not beer. This is stuff that Nick bought. He had a poker night the other day, so I do not drink this. I don't even start with any kind of fizzy drink, any kind of soda, because there's just no point for me. I just don't drink it at all. I don't even start, or juice. And then I've got like ketchup, so we just call it tomato sauce. This is a more healthy kind of one. But then I also have like a regular kind of tomato sauce. It's ketchup. It's got a bit of sugar in it. I'll use it quite sparingly, but I will put it in things. And then I've got some like pickled onions, sweet chili, which is great on stuff. This mustard is really good. I just found this. It's got a little bit of sugar, but it's got no oil. My main thing is I'm looking for things, without oil. Always have olives, always have capers. Got a little bit of tahini here, which I really don't use much, but I will occasionally. And then this is the soy milk that I buy. It's got no oil in it. Tastes a bit weird, but it's alright. It's got no oil. It's the cheapest one. And so then I've got some sauerkraut here that my mum made. And then this, I just blend up flaxseed, whole flaxseed, and then I just keep it in the fridge and replenish that when we go out. And then this is some pickled ginger, which is great for sushi bowls, and some crushed garlic, which makes life easier. And I don't know why I have 2 of these, more crushed garlic. And then hemp seeds, which I love to put on my kids' food to just give them some more higher calories and help them to have more fat in their diet. One thing you're going to notice about that fridge is there's not really things in there that are going to derail me when my motivation is low, because people tend to think that with weight loss it's all about keeping motivation really high, and motivation is like the most fickle 16-year-old boyfriend that you had back in high school that was like, I love you this day, and then the next minute he's off with someone else. So don't rely on motivation. Put systems in place that you don't need to rely on motivation. So when I'm having a bad day and I'm like, stuff it, give me all the cookies and all the things and I'm gonna lick peanut butter out of the jar, I don't go to my fridge and then I don't see cookies and I'm like, just white knuckle it until I don't want them anymore, because you're just going to eat them. So that's something that's really helpful for me. And if you're finding that willpower's not working, because willpower is so overrated, then try something else. Try actually getting that out of your environment so it doesn't tempt you when you're not able to withstand that, at least until you get used to it, especially in the beginning. If you're like coming from a diet of tons of processed food, don't make it harder for yourself than it really needs to be. I just wanted to show you this. You guys know I cleaned out my fridge because it was freaking bad. This is the result. I'm ashamed to say this. Like, how long was this here? I used like a tiny bit of this for my kids' food, and then I didn't do anything with it. So I just don't want people to think that life is perfect for anyone on the Instagram webs, because it isn't. It really isn't. Like, I'm a bit of a messy one. I'm like the opposite of a domestic goddess. I'm like a domestic. I'm like a domestic deviant. Okay. Now, just have a look. I've got some little nose hairs in there. Now we're going to have a look in the pantry. Actually, I would love to hear this from you. Fun fact, the worst thing I think someone ever said to me in high school. So I've got the two worst things. So someone told me that I had a butt chin. And I'm just like, well, Superman has a butt chin, so I'm okay with it now. Superman is by far the worst superhero, by the way, because he's just too powerful and he's too perfect. I mean, Batman actually has some character to him, like he's been through some stuff, but Superman hasn't. I just don't get the hype. Anyway, I've got a Superman butt chin, but one of my friends once told me, she's like, Charles, your nose hairs are sticking out of your nose. And now I'm just like, I just rep it hard, because if my nose hairs want to be free, who am I to tell them otherwise? So this is actually really cool, because when we're in the process of renovating our house, I don't know if you can tell, like, people always give me crap about the floors. It's because we're mid-renovations, all right? Anyway, so this right here, this used to be a door that went to the outside, like you went for this little corridor thing and then you'd go outside, but we made it into a pantry, which is pretty cool. Okay, so this is what I've got going on. A lot of plastic. I don't have pretty jars. I like things that stack. And I've really just mainly got my staples in here that I have all the time, and then I've got a combination of things that like get used once a year. So I'll give you a bit of a bare bones overview, and then I'll show you my staples. So one of my staples is definitely oats. I've got some rolled oats in here, but I would also buy what are the other ones? Whole grain oats. And then this here is kind of like my packet for, my container for packets. So I always get some kind of gluten-free pasta. This one's really nice, the brown rice one. I don't have gluten-free because I just YOLO, I don't know. My kids sometimes have this, but I don't love them. I won't really eat these. These are not good for weight loss because, yes, they're low in calories, but they're not low in calorie density. So the difference there is they're so light, so they're low in calories, but they're not very filling. So it's not the food I choose to eat. And then seaweed, I love having this toasted seaweed. It's really great on sushi bowls. But one of my favorite things to have is just this packet rice. And this is going to make your life so much easier when you're in a hurry and you just want to make a meal real quick. So this one has a little bit of oil, but I'm not bothered about a tiny bit of oil if it makes my life way easier and actually keeps me on track when I don't want to be. And I've got a few sweet potatoes here, some garlic and onions and things like that. And then these are kind of like my condiment-y things. Don't really use that very often. Made this seed mix, which I'll have very, very sparingly. My kids have peanut butter. I don't eat peanut butter. My kids have Marmite. I don't eat bread, so I don't have that. Little bit of sesame seeds, but some more of that seed mix. And then I've got all my spices and things going on. And then some other seeds and stuff here. But again, I just don't really use that. But I always buy these flax seeds so I can grind them up and we put them on our porridge. And then up here, again, stuff I don't really use. I've got brown sugar, but I would not be using that, and I don't really have anything to use it on. I've got some cashews in here, which I'd use very occasionally. Yellow lentils, which I use in soups and dals. There's some rice bubbles, which are like Rice Krispies. I don't even know what this is. I love having like some apple cider vinegar. No, I don't. I don't know why I said that. Look at this gross thing. What is that? That's disgusting. I love this though. This is really nice to have like on some banana ice cream as opposed to like sugar or maple syrup. This is my preference. And then obviously sriracha, because hot sauce is life. Don't know why we have so many vinegars. Really don't know. White vinegar, more vinegar. Soy sauce, gotta have that soy sauce. And then whole grain mustard. And we've got oils back here because we used to have a food business and we still haven't used those from like 3 years ago. And a moss thing. Lovely. And then up here, okay, I've got PB powder, which I adore instead of having peanut butter. And this superfoody beetrooty powder that someone gave me, which I sometimes use. Protein powder from when I was trying to count macros, but fail. And yeah, that's the stuff's disgusting. Lots of quinoa, it's kind of a staple. And friends gave us these, which I don't know if I'm ever going to use that, to be honest. And this is kind of like my treat jar. So sometimes I will have treats. Like there was a time where I was having like a little bit of chocolate. So this has got some chocolate chips. It's a bit hoary actually, but this is good because if you are going to have treats, kind of keeping it out of sight, out of mind is going to be helpful. And this just collects moisture, so I should probably change that. Alright, and then this setup that I've got, I find it really helpful because I've got like my bulk rices. That's like my dried fruit. I have one which I call unhealthy baking, and then I've got a healthy baking one which has got like a backup of spices, and then I've got some other rices down here. But guys, this is how much sweet potato I buy at a time. I just always have tons of this stuff because it's the biggest staple in my diet. That's not got much. And potatoes in there, and then tins. So I've always got lots of tins of tomatoes and lots of tins of beans so that I can make up stuff really, really quickly. Some lentils there, and occasionally I get this kind of seaweed, but I normally buy the other packs where it's like the bigger pack, so it's not all this plastic. And then this stuff, there's kind of no point showing you because it's been here for years. And then I've also got this big container, that I put stuff in and I seal up. And I honestly buy so much of these because I don't go to my Asian store very often. So when I do, I buy these in bulk, and they are so good to make up quickly. They taste just like ramen, like 2-minute fried, real nice noodles that you kind of have when you're a kid. And these really hit the spot, so I'll just make up a big batch of this for my family, and I'll put tons of toppings and non-starchy veggies, and I actually have a recipe with that as well. Again, what you're going to notice in here is I've got some things that I can cook up really quick and have as staples. I've got some like noodles and some pasta, which I'm going to have occasionally, but the bulk of my diet is going to be things like sweet potato, like you saw. I've got some cooked up, and that's why I've got it in bulk, and then also the veggies, and then tons of rice and things like that. So I've got a combination of the things that take a little bit longer to prepare, and then the things that are going to be quick when I'm in a hurry. And I don't have the foods that really tempt me. I don't have the foods that are going to derail me when I'm lacking motivation. I mainly keep them out of my house. I've had times where I've had them in. I don't find it helpful. So at the moment I don't have them at all, and it is really helpful for me. Tell me I'm not the only one with this problem though. Okay guys, so now we're going to have a look at freezer, and I'll show you what I got on here. Don't look at the ice cream. You know, I haven't eaten this in ages. I don't normally have this in here. And I'm going to put that back in the corner. So I've got some chickpeas that I cooked up ages ago. So I'll use those if I want to make hummus. Let's be honest though, I don't really make hummus, I just buy it. And I have it sparingly. I cooked up some quinoa and I just put it in these little single serve container thingies. And I would just cook this up in the microwave if I really needed to make something quickly. And I always have frozen fruit. This is awesome to snack on. It's awesome to have as a bit of a dessert. More quinoa. I've got frozen onion because it makes my life way easier. And in this big thing that I don't know if you can see in this massive container here is frozen banana for banana ice cream and smoothies. And I've got edamame, beans, and some leftover soup, and I don't know what that is. And so I've got more of this stuff. Yikes, I'm in heaps. I've got blueberries. I love these naked blueberries. It's just more interesting. And I've got some miso. If you buy a miso paste, buy a ton of it because it's expensive, and then put it in the freezer. That's my tip for you. I've got green peas, baby peas. Again, all this stuff is real easy to just chuck together into something so you don't have to spend a ton of time cooking. You're not really gourmet like me. And I've got some corn kernels, things like that. Just your usual. There's no more yummy. Yeah, I was going to try this meal. It's like a vegan meal company. I tried one of the other meals. It was really, really yum, but I just was keen to try it. Not really the best for weight loss though. And, oh, yikes. Just listening to Nick. He's helping me do my podcast interview. I mean, my podcast intro. I'm so excited to finally get an intro. Nick.
Nick, baby, wait.
Get you shedding fat and the mindset you'll need to get slim for life. I'm stoked to have you here. Let's get started.
Thanks so much for hanging out, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and hope you subscribe and stick around for more epic weirdness and more stuff about weight loss, because that's what we all want to do, right? Losing weight, it's a big deal for a lot of women, for most women, but it is possible. And if you want more information about it, definitely go check out my podcast, which I feel like I've plugged pretty well in this video. If not, see you next time on the news.